So when you think of the first VTuber, you're probably thinking of Kids in the Eye.
Fuck you! Fuck you! Fuck you, fuck you! Fuck you!
Now, Kids in the Eye debuted back in November of 2016. But there's someone who goes even further than that. And if you're thinking of Amy Yamato, you're closer. Amy Yamato goes back to 2011. But I think I have somebody who fits the traditional definition of a VTuber that goes all the way back to 1985. In case there's somebody out there who isn't quite all caught up, a VTuber is a virtual YouTuber, somebody who uses a virtual avatar to do content creation. Naturally, this subject is very near and dear to my heart. Yeah, I'm still calling it that. So I've done some thinking about the subject. I did some deep thinking about it, and I had an oh shit moment. Now, let's skip the setup and just jump right into it. I'm talking about Max Headroom.
This is Max Headroom, and what you're about to witness is one of the most sinister-sounding intros to a trailer to one of the greatest epics ever produced in the history of television. And there's more, because you are going to see it as well.
Yes, it.
Yes, it.
Yes.
Namely, the Max Headroom story.
Now, Max debuted in April of 1985, and what would be considered his debut stream was actually an hour-long short film called 20 Minutes into the Future. So if we were going to be filling out a VTuber profile for Max, we would have to break it down into the following categories. So for description, Max would be considered an AI, with the appearance of a 3D rendered human male, dressed up like a professional television host. Okay, if we're going into the lore, I would probably break it down like this. Edison Carter is a hard-hitting reporter for Network 23, who uncovered something that his superiors in the network would have preferred to keep quiet. Eventually, this required Edison to flee for his life. While escaping, he was injured in a motorbike accident in a parking lot. Max Headroom is the computer reconstruction of Carter, created after Bryce Lynch uploaded a copy of his mind. He appears as a computer-rendered bust of Carter superimposed on a wireframe background. Since Carter's last sight before the motorcycle crash was the sign Max Headroom on a parking garage gate, these were the reconstruction's first words and ultimately his name. While Carter is a dedicated professional, Max is a wisecracking observer of human contradiction. So VTubers like to go on about their mama and papa, the artists who helped create them. So in Max's case, we would have to assign a whole bunch of names here. So you have Rocky Morton and Annabelle Jankel and their friend George Stone, and they're the ones who basically came up with the idea of Max. John Humphreys and Peter Liddon came up with the art and the design for Max. But ultimately, Max was brought to life by Matt Frewer, who you may know from other sci-fi appearances. Okay, one of Max's papas, George Stone, summarizes Max as this. The character is a consciousness, fully human, total amnesiac, whose first experience to the world is exposure to 30,000 simultaneous channels of television. That's where the character comes from. He's a fusion of every evangelist, every sports reporter, everything you see on TV. And from his perspective, he sees no difference or distinction between them. So in order to be a VTuber, you need a platform. You're either streaming on Twitch or on YouTube. It just so happens that Max's platforms were BBC Channel 4, ABC Television in the States, and a short-lived series on Cinemax. Now, all the most popular VTubers do collaboration streams where they hang out with other VTubers or even other live streamers. Max is no exception here either. Some notable collabs that Max has had include the band The Art of Noise, director Ridley Scott, a couple of actors that you may know by the name of Robin Williams, William Shatner, and a couple of hack musicians, Penn and Teller. Now, I think all of this builds a pretty solid case for Max being a VTuber. But in case you wanted to know a little bit more about him, we can dive a little bit deeper into his lore. I would like to summarize it for you thusly. In the not-too-distant, totally plausible, post-apocalyptic future, hotshot expose reporter Edison Carter works for Network 23.
What I want to know is, who is suppressing the story? What is it somebody doesn't want us to know?
He hosts a live news show called What I Want to Know. He starts tracking a story about how his network's new advertisement campaign has some adverse side effects. So you know how rapid flashing images can cause seizures? So imagine that, but more explodey. Edison uncovers the nefarious plot and goes to collect the evidence from the evil spoiled computer geek who, in an unintentional method of format security, keeps everything stored on magnetic tape. So now because Edison has to watch the video in real time, computer geek Bryce Lynch can call his crime friends on his flip phone from his bathtub. When the hired Wish.com hit squad gets the call, they come to chase Edison through the apartment complex in the world's least intense chase sequence. All of this culminates in the title drop when Edison tries to Evel Knievel his way out of the parking garage. Henchmen 21 and 24 drag Edison's unconscious body back up to Bryce's place, where Bryce begins to download Edison's brain into a Commodore 64. However, thanks to the awesome Max head trauma, things don't go quite right. After Bryce botches his pitch to use to digitize Edison on the air, he gets ordered to literally scrap the whole project. Bebop and Rocksteady get tasked with the disposal, so they dump the meat sack at the body farm for a couple of credits, and then drop off Bryce's chunky old external hard drive with the most badass pirate streamer in the post-apocalypse, Blank Reg. I fucking love Blank Reg.
Right. Great. Wonderful.
You're tuned into the Wired Society. This is big time
television.
Day after day, making tomorrow seem like yesterday. You know, we said there's no future. Well, this is it. This is Blank Reg talking to the blank generation.
So Blank Reg is the host of Big Time TV. Edison wakes up after being not quite dead yet on a pile of recycled corpses and decides he needs to get the fuck out of there and wanders off for parts unknown.
Nightingale's here. That body you sold us has taken a walk.
Sorry, Reg. Bit of business.
Meanwhile, Blank Reg gets baby AI Max Headroom booted up for the first time properly and on the Wi-Fi. Max starts downloading Reg's entire library of punk rock music videos and eventually finds his way onto every unsecured screen possible. This drives up Big Time's ratings, which causes an unforeseen ratings dip at Network 23.
It's only 2%. 2% is 26 million consumers, Ben.
CEO and Bryce's sugar daddy recognizes the new virtual avatar that's been sniping their viewer count, and much like a vindictive chatterbait camgirl, decides that they can't compete with the digital competition and attempts to hashtag cancel Max Headroom with a bullet. Now, given Beavis and Butthead's track record, he decides he needs to head up this mission himself in person. But because loyalty is sold to the highest bidder in the post-apocalypse, Tweedledee and Tweedledumbass turn out to have inadvertently ended up on the right side of things. Apparently Edison had something better to offer. So, Edison gets the scoop and Blank Reg and his lifelong chat mod drive off into the sunset with Max. Congrats, you've unlocked the good ending. Best VTuber lore ever. So there you go. In all of the ways that you can define a VTuber, I think Max qualifies. And hopefully I've been able to kind of at least convince you a little bit. I mean, honestly, this is more a shitpost than anything, but I think I still have a solid point. I don't know. You tell me. What do you think? Alright, here's where I say all the usual YouTuber stuff. If you have any thoughts, let me know in the comments below. please smash that subscribe button and ring the bell. I'm still very baby at all of this, so I need every subscription I can get. Share this with friends, throw this on Twitter, dump it into the appropriate channel of every Discord server that you're a member of. Please help me get the word out. I need it. I need it bad. So yes, like and subscribe. This Friday I'm going to be live streaming here on YouTube and on Twitch. There may still be time for you to vote on which game I get to play on the Twitter right here. Links in the description. And that's it. It feels good to finally get this video done. I've been sitting on it a while. Ever since I decided I was going to debut, I knew I was going to need content. And I knew that this was an idea that was kicking around in my brain long enough that I needed to get it out there. So here we are. Stay tuned for the next one. I think we're going to do something a little more horror related. Or I might do a music thing. I still haven't decided. Hey, that can be another thing you throw into the comments below, or tweet at me about. Viewer interaction, folks. We're doing it live. Come on, help me out here. Alright, I gotta go. See you later. Thanks for watching.